Let's break it down. While tens of thousands of people in Budapest are marching against corruption and child abuse under Viktor Orbán, his friend Donald Trump is on a plane in the United States posting false updates about a mass shooting and talking about taking over golf courses. I'm Imran, a Middle East-based analyst who follows US politics and global affairs. In about 3 minutes, let's walk through what's happening in Hungary, what Trump is doing back home, and what it tells us about this global strongman era. If you like clear, simple breakdowns like this, make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss the next one. First, what's going on in Budapest? In Hungary's capital, enormous crowds have filled the streets after a horrific scandal at a state-run juvenile detention center. Investigators say children were abused for years, and the former director is accused of running what amounts to a child prostitution and trafficking ring out of a government institution. Protesters are carrying toys and candles, demanding justice for the victims and calling for Viktor Orbán to resign. Orbán isn't just any European leader. He's one of Trump's favorite allies, a model for the kind of illiberal democracy Trump openly praises. Same playbook. Talk constantly about protecting children and fighting traffickers. Then look the other way when abuse is exposed inside your own system. That's why these protests matter. They're not just about one prison. They're about a whole style of politics built on fear, culture wars, and double standards. Quick pause here. If this kind of context helps you see the bigger picture behind the headlines, please like the video and double check that you're subscribed. It really helps the channel grow and tells me to keep making more videos like this. Second, what was Trump doing while this was happening? At the same time as those protests and as yet another mass shooting unfolded at Brown University in Rhode Island, Trump was online pushing bad information. While students were still hiding in classrooms and police were still hunting for the gunman, he went on social media claiming the shooter was already in custody and saying he'd been briefed. That was false. Local officials had to go out in front of cameras and basically tell the public, ignore the rumors, listen to official channels. Think about how dangerous that is. When the President of the United States behaves like a random internet troll during an active shooting, people can let their guard down, assume the threat is over, and walk straight into danger. And of course, none of this happens in a vacuum. The US rolled back its assault weapons ban years ago, the Supreme Court has weakened gun regulations, and the same politicians who block basic gun safety laws love posing with AR-15 pins on their jackets. They shout mental health while cutting mental health funding and then act surprised when the same pattern repeats over and over again. Third, the peace president who keeps cheering on conflict. Trump likes to call himself the peace president and constantly claims he's negotiated ceasefires all over the world. In Gaza, in Southeast Asia, in Central Africa, in Ukraine. But when you look closely, the wars are still burning. Bombs are still falling in Gaza. Fighting has flared again between Thailand and Cambodia. Armed groups are still active in eastern Congo. Russia is still pounding Ukrainian cities and infrastructure. At the United Nations, the US just cast the lone no vote on a resolution about protecting humanitarian workers and UN personnel. 153 countries voted yes, only one voted no, the same government that says it's leading for peace. In another vote on the legacy of the Chernobyl disaster, Washington lined up with Russia and a small group of authoritarian states to block a text on cooperation. The gap between the branding and the reality could not be clearer, and yet, what is Trump personally obsessed with right now? A fight to wrest control of Washington, DC's 3 public golf courses from a non-profit that's been renovating them. While people in his own country are worrying about rent, food prices, and basic safety, he's focused on stamping his name on municipal fairways so he and his oligarch friends can host parties on public land. So let's break it down one last time. In Budapest, people are marching against abuse, corruption, and a leader who wraps himself in family values while presiding over a broken system. In the United States, Trump is spreading bad information during a school shooting, blocking international efforts to protect aid workers, and chasing control of golf courses while calling himself a peace president. The common thread is simple. A politics that treats power and image as more important than truth, safety, or basic human dignity. The only real counter to that, in Hungary, in America, and anywhere else, is an informed public that refuses to look away and refuses to be gaslit. This is Imran Breaks It Down. If you found this helpful, please subscribe, like the video, and tell me your thoughts in the comments. Do you think these protests in Hungary are a warning sign for other strongmen, or will they try to double down? Share this with a friend who follows global politics. And if you're already subscribed, thank you. We'll keep breaking it down together.